我请到 Pam 帮我翻译，所以I want to start our time together by asking you to role play.
在一开始呢，我们要先来做一个角色扮演的。
I want everyone here to imagine that you are a car salesperson.
我想请大家想象一下，你是一个汽车销售员。
So the sales manager asks you to do something.
你的经理就告诉你要做一件事。
There is someone going to come onto the car lot in a few minutes.
有一个人即将来到。
What I want you to do is I want you to show this person around the car lot.
我要请你带这一位客人在那个停车场绕一下。
Show him the cars, show him all the features of every vehicle we have in our car lot.
我要帮他介绍我们这里所有的车子。
But I do not want you to close the deal.
可是呢，我不希望就是当他决定要买车的时候，先跟他成交。
I just want you to be friendly, have a nice chat, but do not close the deal.
就帮他做一些介绍，可是先不要成交。
So the customer comes onto the car lot.
所以那位客人就来了。
You show him around.
你就带他看看这边的车子。
The person is very impressed by your knowledge.
这位客人对你所知道的事情呢，介绍的车子非常的惊讶。
He likes you so much. He says, "I'm going to buy 8 cars from you today."
他甚至想要向你买8辆车子。
Not only that, I'm going to add 20% tip on every car that I buy from you.
不止这样，我买的每一辆车子我会再加上2成的小费。
Then you think,
所以你就在想，
my manager told me not to close the deal.
我的经理告诉我先不要成交。
But I'm going to get a 20% tip on every car that I sell. And I'm going to sell 8 cars today.
但是呢，我今天可以卖8辆车子，每一辆车子我还可以拿到2成的小费。
So what are you going to do?
所以你会怎么做呢？
Do you forget what the manager said to you?
你会先忘记经理跟你说的话吗？
Or do you listen and you obey what the manager tells you?
还是你会顺服你经理的要求？
Not a very difficult decision, don't you agree?
是一个很困难的决定吧。
But not every day we face with such a big decision.
虽然不是每天我们都遇到这样重大的需要做这么大一个决定。
But each one of us, every morning when we wake up, we are faced with decision that might define our lives for years to come, or maybe even forever.
但是每个早晨当我们起来的时候，我们完全不知道我们所做的一个决定可能会影响别人如何的定义我们。
Now, if we had known what decision we're going to make, we would have prepared for it.
如果我们知道所要做的决定是什么，那我们就可以先做准备。
But we don't.
但是我们不知道。
It's these moments that will cast us in a positive or a negative light.
就是这样子的一个时刻，会对我们有正面或负面的影响。
Now, each one of us is going to make decisions
我们每一个人都是在一生当中都要做决定，
that are far more important than others.
有些比其他的还要重要。
Now, there are many, many people in the Bible that we can use to serve as a positive or negative example of what to do if we are involved in a similar situation.
在圣经当中呢，有相当多也相当类似的这些情况，有正面也有负面的。
So this Sunday, I want to look at a specific character in the Bible.
今天我们来看一个圣经当中的人物。
And this person serves as a negative example.
他所要给我们看到的是一个负面的。
The person we're going to look at is Moses.
今天要看的主角就是摩西。
The text I'm going to look at is Numbers chapter 20, verses 1 to 12.
今天的经文的出处是民数记20章1到12节。
Now, I find it very interesting that I'm standing here conveying God's word to all of you.
我今天能在这边讲道呢，我感到非常的有序。
Because around 8 or 9 years ago, I preached my first sermon.
大概8、9年前，我第一次讲道。
Now, I remember that day I felt it's going to be easy.
我当时认为讲道应该很容易吧。
I've been a teacher for a long time.
因为我当时已经当老师许多年。
And I've given many, many public workshops.
也有许多演讲的经验。
So I have no fear of public speaking.
所以演讲对我来说并不害怕。
Because I felt it's something natural to me.
因为是一个很自然的事。
So as the days leading up to my first sermon,
所以就在讲道的几天前
I just told myself, this is going to be easy. What could possibly go wrong?
我还在对自己说，这应该没有什么难的，还能够出什么差错呢？
But if you watch any tragedy or horror movie, when someone says, what could possibly go wrong, something goes wrong.
在许多电影当中，当你听到有人这样说的时候，常常就是会出问题。
So that morning when I woke up,
所以那天早晨我起来的时候，
I felt completely naked.
这个要怎么办？我感到
Because I felt something scared.
我感到非常的恐惧，说不出话来。
I couldn't speak.
我没有办法说话。
Then I remember God speaking to me very, very specifically and very, very vividly in my mind.
当时我记得神很清楚的在对我说
The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to teach you some humility.
神说，你需要谦卑下来，学习不再依靠自己。
You see, when you are teaching and giving giving workshops, you are speaking.
当你在演讲的时候，是我自己在说话。
But when you're standing in front of a congregation, I'm using you to speak my words.
可是在正道的时候呢，是神借着我们在说话。
And it's a lesson I've never ever forgotten.
这是一个我没有办法忘记的教训。
So why am I telling you this story?
所以为什么我在跟你们说这个故事呢？
Because Moses made the same mistake as I did.
因为摩西曾经也犯了相同的错误。
He embraced success, but failed to remember where the success originally came from.
他也忘记了是谁赐给他能力和成就。
Now, most of you agree that Moses was a magnificent man of God, whose faith and godliness was displayed in the Bible.
大部分的人我们都认同摩西是神中心的仆人，与圣经中的伟人。
But unfortunately, at the waters of Meribah, he made a decision that would haunt him and deny him the most cherished desire.
可惜的是，在米利巴水的事件当中，摩西做了一个影响他非常大的决定。
It is ironic that someone could make many good decisions all through his or her life, but one day make a foolish one, and the result is that person will be remembered for that decision.
讽刺的是，一个人可以在一生当中都做了好的决定，但是一个不好的决定，却会使别人永远记得。
So imagine if a great pastor built a very, very big church.
就比如说一个非常有名的牧师建立了一个很大的教会。
And the church grows to 1,000 people per service.
在每一个聚会当中就增加1000个人。
One day he makes a bad decision with money.
有一天呢，他在那个财务上面做了一个错误。
Will you remember that person for the church that he built? Or would you remember for that person for the bad decision he made?
所以之后你会你想到 魏牧师的时候，你会想到他所建立的教会呢，还是他在财务上面的错误？
The reality of the faith, greater responsibility, greater consequences of our mistakes.
我们需要面对的事实就是，我们所有的责任越大，错误所带来的后果也越大。
Our greatest stumbles can happen when success seems to flow like a river through our lives.
在人生一帆风顺的时候，也可能会重重的跌一跤。
These moments are intoxicating. Because these moments can create such a dangerous situation in our lives.
这样令人陶醉的时刻，也可能会是生命当中危险的处境。
We think we can do anything, even fly like a bird high in the sky.
那时候我们会以为自己什么都可以做，甚至像鸟在高空中飞翔。
Now, unfortunately, when we fly as high as a bird, the fall from such great heights can even have a more devastating effect.
不幸的是呢，如此高高在上的我们，如果掉下来的时候，将会带来极其严重的后果。
But here's something to consider. Can someone who really loves God and truly serve Him still fall from his or her own success?
所以在这里我们要来思考一个问题，就是一个真正跟随神的人，还是会跌倒吗？
Definitely, and it is more common than you realize.
这是肯定的，而且比我们意识到的还要普遍。
The failure of Moses at the waters of Meribah can give us 4 valuable lessons that may guard us in our major decisions.
摩西在米利巴水的失败，可以教导我们4个教训，来做我们以后做决定时的保护。
The first one is we draw attention to ourselves rather than to God.
第一，我们把目光就是焦点放在自己的身上，而不是放在神的身上。
So to give you background history, the Hebrews were close to their 40 years of exile in the wilderness as a punishment for their lack of faith.
希伯来人呢，他们当时因着他们的不幸，在旷野已经漂流了将近40年。
Because of their sheer numbers, local water reserves were depleted.
因为他们的人数众多，水的供给也不足够，所以他们缺乏水。
As with the generation that left Egypt, the new generation shared the same unfortunate custom. They began to blame Moses and Aaron for their problems.
就如一开始离开埃及的以色列人，新一代的以色列人也同样的向摩西与亚伦争论还有抱怨。
So at first, it's hard to identify what exactly Moses did that was so wrong.
一开始来看这个事件的时候，或许很难准确的指出摩西的错误。
If you think about it, Moses was the middle person between God and the Israelites.
因为摩西是在神与以色列人之间的中间人。
So since they needed water, the logical person they would go to is Moses and Aaron.
因为当时他们没有水喝，所以很合理的呢，他们就去到摩西与亚伦那边。
So God assured them that He would provide for them and told them exactly how.
当摩西去会幕门口寻求神的时候呢，神也向他们保证水会从磐石流出。
So what's the big problem?
所以问题出在哪里呢？
Let's look at verse 4 to 5.
我们来看一下第4到5节。
The Israelites asked Moses, "Why did you bring the Lord's community into this wilderness, that we and our livestock should die here? Why did you bring us out of Egypt into this terrible place? It has no grain or figs, grapevines or pomegranates, and there is no water to drink."
这里以色列人对摩西说：“你们为何把耶和华的会众领到这旷野，使我们和牲畜都死在这里呢？你们为何逼着我们出埃及，领我们到这坏地方呢？这地方不好撒种，也没有无花果树、葡萄树，也没有水喝。”
So exactly, who were the Israelites talking to?
所以以色列人是在跟谁来说话呢？
They were talking to Moses, not to God.
他们是在与摩西说话，而不是向神。
Also, they were complaining to Moses and not to God.
他们也是在向摩西抱怨心中的失望，而不是向神。
Unfortunately, Moses went along with who they focused on.
可惜的是，摩西也同样的把焦点放在他自己的身上。
So he started to grow tired of their complaining and began to take it upon himself, give himself more authority and responsibility than what he really had.
摩西他开始厌烦以色列人的抱怨，而把责任与权利当作是自己的。
In verse 10, we read, He and Aaron gathered the assembly together in front of the rock, and Moses said to them, Listen, you rebels, must we bring you water out of this rock?
第10节说，摩西亚伦就招聚会众到磐石前。摩西说：“你们这些背叛的人，听我说，我为你们使水从这磐石中流出来吗？”
Now Moses was starting to lose patience with the Israelites, and he called them rebels, which he had the right to do.
摩西对以色列人开始失去耐心，说他们是背叛的人。
Unfortunately, when he did that, he was implying that he and Aaron were going to provide the water.
虽然他说的没有错，但是话语当中却是暗示了将会是他与亚伦使水流出。
So his angry words and rash actions focused the attention onto himself and Aaron instead of God.
摩西说生气的话与鲁莽的行为，把焦点放在他和亚伦的身上。
So in his outburst, Moses failed to set God apart as holy and the one deserving the glory.
在他的愤怒中，摩西未能将神分别为圣，将荣耀归给神。
So another way to look at this is when God intervenes in miracles, He is separating the boundaries of the physical world and the spiritual world.
我们用另外一个方面来看，当神使用神迹来介入的时候，他是在凸显属世与属灵的界限。
So what Moses did was he took away God's ability to show His power and glory.
在某个意义上，摩西拿走了神凸显他大能与荣耀的能力。
When we have been given great responsibility, it is easy to be caught up in the spotlight that comes with it and forget the one who is worthy of that spotlight.
当我们被给予重大责任的时候，我们很容易把焦点放在自己的身上，而忘记把焦点放在神身上。
When God gives us mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, there is a reason why He gave us those gifts. They are meant to be tools to glorify Him.
神给我们的聪明才智以及恩赐，都是用来荣耀他的。
We must avoid the temptation to use those God-given gifts to glorify us and not Him.
我们必须避免使用神所给的恩赐来荣耀自己。
Now, I am assuming that everyone here has a God-given gift or ability, but does those gifts bring attention to yourself?
神有给你一个能力或者是恩赐，是让人家特别注意你的吗？
There's nothing wrong with that gift because God gave you that gift. However, God gave you those gifts as a way to reflect the praises and the accomplishments that those gifts should be focused back onto Him. God deserves those praises, not you.
恩赐的本身呢是没有错，因为这是神所给的。然而，神给你的恩赐所伴随的称赞是要归给神的，是神配得所有的称赞，而不是我们自己。
Second, we take credit for the accomplishments of God.
第二，我们将神的作为归功于自己。
Moses neglected to do something very important as the Israelites began to give Moses and Aaron credit for what had happened to them, the good and the bad.
当以色列人开始把功劳归给摩西与亚伦的时候，摩西忘了做一件很重要的事情。
He did not correct them.
他没有去纠正他们的错误。
What Moses should have done is to remind the people that God alone is responsible for both their deliverance and their current predicament.
摩西应该要做的是提醒以色列人，他们出埃及的拯救，以现在遇到的困难都是出于神的作为。
The danger is that when we are surrounded by people willing to give us earthly praises for heavenly works, it is so easy to accept them.
当我们身旁的人称赞我们的服事的时候，要小心，因为我们很容易把功劳归给自己。
So that is something that all church leaders need to remember.
这是所有教会的领袖都需要记得的。
When we get praises for things we do in the church, it is very tempting for us to accept it and think it's us who did it and not God.
当我们的服事得到称赞的时候，我们很容易把这些归给自己。
The more we find ourselves in the spotlight, the easier for us to forget about God.
我们越在那个目光焦点之下，越容易忘记。
Here's a sad reality. Someone who would never think of lying or stealing or being involved in sexual immorality would often fall prey to pride that tempts him or her continually in the form of sincere compliments.
一个人呢，他虽然是过着圣洁的生活，他不偷不说谎，也没有犯淫乱的罪，但是很容易在别人的称赞中堕入骄傲里。
Number 3, we intentionally ignore God's clear directives.
第三，我们故意不听从神的指示。
Verse 8 says, "Take the staff, and you and your brother Aaron gather the assembly together. Speak to that rock before their eyes, and it will pour out its water. You will bring water out of the rock for the community, so that they and their livestock can drink."
在第8节，神对摩西说：“你拿着杖去，和你的哥哥亚伦招聚会众，在他们眼前吩咐磐石发出水来，水就从磐石流出，给会众和他们的牲畜喝。”
So God specifically asked Moses to speak to the rock.
在这里，神特别的吩咐摩西要去，就是吩咐磐石出水。
So what did Moses do?
摩西当时做了什么？
Verse 11. Then Moses raised his arm and struck the rock twice with his staff. Water gushed out, and the community and their livestock drank.
第11节说，摩西举手，用杖击打磐石2下，就有许多水流出来，会众和他们的牲畜都喝了。
So Moses did not just forget the instructions. God made it perfectly clear that he disobeyed.
摩西他不只是忘记了神的指示，神很清楚的让我们看到，摩西他违背了神的要求。
Moses did more than what was required by God.
摩西比神所吩咐的做的还多。
So that's why God says, "You have not treated me as holy in the sight of the sons of Israel."
所以神对摩西说：“你们不信我，不在以色列人眼前尊我为圣。”
Because in the past, Moses had always treated God as holy in the sight of Israel, and as a result, God had given him more and more personal honor.
摩西过去一直的在以色列人眼前尊神为圣，所以神使他有越来越多的个人名声。
So at the peak of his popularity, he played the role of an angry leader and moved the focus away from God.
就当摩西在拥有高名声的时候，他以一个愤怒的领袖将焦点转离了神。
We can be faithful in so many things for so long, and God can give us greater and greater honor.
我们可以在许多的事上忠心，神也可以给我们更多的名声。
Then one day we get a clear directive from God, and you disobey God. Sorry, Then one day we get clear direction from God and disobey God ever so slightly, and our decision results in discipline from God.
但就在某一天，神给了我们清楚的指示，却违背了神，可能只是稍微的偏差，但神因着我们的决定来管教我们。
So what's the reason?
原因是什么？
Jesus said in Luke chapter 12, "For everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And for the one who has been trusted with much, much more will be asked."
耶稣在路加福音第12章说：“因为多给谁，就向谁多取；多托谁，就向谁多要。”
The more we receive, the greater responsibility from whom we receive it.
我们得的越多，所赋予的责任也越大。
When we ignore one of God's directives, the negative fallout will be much greater on us.
当我们忽略神的一个指令，所伴随的负面影响也越大。
Ignoring this simple principle is a good way to find ourselves on the bad end of a defining moment, one that brings tragedy instead of joy.
如果我们不遵守这个原则，别人将记得我们的失误多于我们的好。
Number 4, we feed an attitude that God needs us.
第四，一个神需要我们的态度。
Up to that time, after all God had used Moses to do, all the incredible miracles he had Moses perform, Moses started to get slightly conceited and felt that God needed him to perform his works.
在这个事件之前，在神使用摩西完成许多神迹之后，摩西开始有一点自以为是，感觉神需要他来完成神的工作。
Listen again to his words in verse 10. Listen, you rebels. Must we bring you water out of this rock?
我们再来看一次第10节，摩西对以色列人说的话。 你们这些背叛的人，听我说，我为你们使水从这磐石中流出来吗？
So what Moses is saying to them is, I have saved you before. Must I do it again?
摩西其实是在对他们说，我已经拯救过你们了，需要我再做一次吗？
Moses was right to a certain degree.
摩西在某个程度上说的是对的。
Moses had interceded for Israel those times when God was angry at them.
当神对以色列人生气时，摩西多次为以色列人向神恳求。
But Moses failed to realize that he was just the instrument. God was the Savior.
但是摩西未能意识到他只是神的工具、器皿。
Deep down, Moses knew this to be true, but he was developing a sense of personal pride rather than an attitude of grace.
在摩西心的深处是知道的，但是他开始有自我骄傲的感觉，而忘了这些作为都是神的恩典。
So in that sense, the action of Moses was he lacked trust in the Lord.
某个方面来看，摩西的举动是缺少对神的信靠。
It is not clear how Moses failed to trust God in this story.
摩西为什么没有信靠神？我们从这里看不是很清楚。
We could assume that he did not believe that a word alone would suffice to bring water out of the rock.
可能他没有相信，只要用话语来吩咐，就足够让磐石流出水来。
That he felt a blow against the rock was necessary.
而觉得需要敲打磐石。
However, it is probably that he was disappointed with the failure of God this time to respond to the wrath to the rebellious people he had in the past.
然而，也有可能摩西对神感到失望，因为神这次没有如从前一样的对这些背叛神的人发作怒气。
So it is almost as though he thought that it was necessary for him to do the work of vengeance.
或许摩西几乎认为是需要他 来做报复工作。
So in this, Moses forgot the basic principle behind God's judgment.
这就是为什么他说了严厉、尖刻的话，还有他击打的石头。
Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord.
如此是摩西忘了神审判背后的基本原则。主说：“深渊在我，我必报应。”
It is so common among those who God uses for His purposes that they forget that God could have done it through someone else.
那些被神使用的人，很常的会忘记神其实可以使用别人来完成相同的工作。
We must remember that we are chosen to highlight His glory, not our own abilities and gifts.
我们被拣选来做神的工作，是要来高举神的荣耀，而不是我们自己的能力。
We begin to feel like no one could do our job, at least not as well.
我们开始感觉没有其他的人可以来取代我们，至少不会做得比我们好。
We are not indispensable to God's program. We are objects of His love and grace.
对于神来说，我们不是不可或缺的，我们是他爱与恩典的对象。
God uses us so that we will enjoy the blessing, not because He has no other means to accomplish the job.
神使用我们，让我们可以享受他的祝福，不是因为他没有其他的方法来完成他的工作。
Often our problems and troubles are a result of our own disobedience or lack of faith.
常常我们的问题与难处是来自于我们的不顺服与不信。
We cannot blame God for our sins.
我们无法为自己的罪来怪罪神。
Until we face this reality, we will have little peace and no spiritual growth.
在我们认知到这个事实以前，我们将不会有平安或灵命的成长。
Unfortunately, Moses never entered the promised land. Joshua did.
所以后来可惜的是，摩西无法像约书亚一样进入应许之地。
Moses finally understood. He was not the most important person.
摩西终于明白了，他不是那最重要的人。
So although Moses didn't enter the promised land, there is a happy ending to the story.
虽然摩西他没有进入应许之地，但故事的最后还是有美好的结局。
God graciously allowed Moses to survey the entire territory.
神怜悯他，使摩西可以看见整个应许之地。
For Moses had been able to see all that was described, but would have required a miraculous gift of vision.
摩西能够看见整个神所描述的应许之地，想必是要有非常好的眼力，神所赐给他的。
So a momentary lapse that brought serious consequences still was only temporary.
一时的失误所带来严重的后果，也只是暂时的。
So this Sunday afternoon, as we gather here, let me ask you a very simple question.
今天下午，我想问大家一个问题。
How are you looking at the success God has given you?
你如何的看待神所给你的恩赐或成就？
How are you treating the gifts and blessings He's brought into your life?
你如何的对待神在你生命当中所给予的恩赐与祝福？
The greatest danger in spiritual success is that we feel the moment of success is our defining moment.
当我们拥有属灵的成功中，最大的危险是我们感到成功的那一刻。
Yet, from God's perspective, the defining moment is how our character and heart handles the honors we receive.
从神看来，决定性的时刻是我们如何的去处理所得到的名声与称赞。
As God's servants, our job is to do what He says.
身为神的仆人，我们就是要按神所吩咐的来做。
Let God be God.
让神来做神，让神来做主。
I want to repeat. Let God be God.
要让神来做主。
A church does not grow because of its programs.
一个教会成长不是我们有多少的聚会活动。
A that church grows because God allows the church to grow.
因为教会成长是因为神让它增长。
Fancy programs will not bring people into the church.
多华丽的一些节目是没有办法让人来的。
It is the Holy Spirit speaking to people's hearts that bring people to the church.
而是圣灵他的呼召让人进到教会。
But this is easier said than done.
不过这说的说的比做的容易。
Maybe our fancy programs will bring many people to the church.
或许我们一些精彩的节目可以让人来到教会。
Remember looking at Jesus' example.
我们要记得耶稣给我们的一个榜样。
In 1 Peter.
在彼得前书。
Nevertheless, when they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly.
他被骂不还口，受害不说威吓的话，只将自己交托那按公义审判人的主。
The decision to do simply nothing under these conditions have been Christ's greatest test of will.
在那样的情况下，决定什么都不做，应该是对基督的意志力带来最大的考验。
God created all of us to sincerely reflect all glory back to Him.
神他创造了我们，是要我们将所有的荣耀都归给他。
Not to bask in it.
而不是自己沉浸在当中。
I want to leave everyone here with an image.
最后我要给大家一个印象，图片。
Success is like a rose.
成功它就像一朵玫瑰。
Even though it is beautiful, it is not to be grasped carelessly, for it has sharp thorns. And if you are not careful, you will suffer painful consequences.
虽然一朵玫瑰是很美丽的，但是我们不能随便的去抓它，因为玫瑰有尖尖的刺，如果你一不小心，就会承受痛苦的后果。
Let's pray.
让我们一同来祷告。
Heavenly Father, thank you for all the gifts that you've given each one of us. And Lord, I pray that we will use those gifts that you've given us to bring glory to you, not to ourselves. And Lord, if we're faced with praises from other people, let us go with a servant and humble heart, and we accept those praises and reflect them back to you. For those prayers and wishes, we ask in Jesus' name, amen.